Alex, I walked into the shop this morning and the air smelled like walnut sawdust and ozone. It's Monday, July 13th, and if that doesn't kick your heart into a higher gear, I don't know what will. It feels like the whole maker world is vibrating at a different frequency this week.
That vibration might just be you over caffeinating again, Tiger. But you're right, there's a lot moving. We've got industrial lasers, SEO pivots, and some high stakes epoxy gambles to get through.
It's the full spread. I'm looking at the landscape right now, and if you're trying to grow a business or just trying not to ruin a slab of wood that costs more than my first truck, there's a lot to navigate.
Well, let's start with the heavy metal. You were eyeing that auction list this morning like it was a classic car catalog.
It's a weakness. Maynard's Industries is doing this massive 2-day liquidator auction on July 16th and 17th. We're talking molothermal and fluid systems equipment.
I saw that, but honestly, Tiger, is an auction like that actually for the little guy, or is it just a feeding frenzy for the big firms?
It's a bit of a shark tank, sure. But here's the thing. When these massive plants turn over their floors, sometimes the most incredible, over-engineered drill presses or metal brakes go for the price of a mid-tier consumer tool. You just have to be willing to figure out how to move a 3-ton machine without putting it through the floor of your garage.
Which you've done.
Once, I had to bribe a neighbor with a flat of beer and a promise to fix his lawnmower for a year just to use his forklift. But look at the Vortman V210. This is what's coming down the pipe. It's a fiber laser that doesn't just cut, it drills and taps in one go.
Wait, so you aren't moving the plate from the laser to a different station to thread the holes?
Exactly. You're cutting out the middleman of human error. Every time you pick up a piece of steel and move it to a new machine, you're basically inviting the universe to knock your tolerances out of alignment by a 16th of an inch. Doing it all in one breath changes the math of the whole shop.
It sounds like the industry is actually feeling pretty confident. The FMA survey you mentioned says fabricators are seeing a massive boom for 2026.
They are. The work is there. The bottleneck isn't the orders anymore. It's the hands to do the work, which leads right into what Tony Bertolino from the PHCC was talking about.
The water heater workflow.
I love that phrase because it sounds so simple, but it's the backbone of a career. We saw this story about a contractor coming back to the tools after 5 years at a firehouse.
I loved that. It's like riding a bike, right? Except the bike can flood your basement if you do it wrong.
It's more than that. Trade skills aren't something that expires like a gallon of milk. If you know how to sweat a pipe or troubleshoot a boiler, you have a forever currency. You can walk away for years, and when you come back, the physics of water and heat haven't changed. You're never starting from zero.
I think people overlook the business of the pipe, though, like you mentioned. It's one thing to fix a leak. It's another to build a system where people call you before the leak happens.
That's the maker mogul transition right there. Moving from I can fix this to I have built a brand that people trust. And speaking of brands, Shopify dropped some 2026 data that honestly made me rethink how I describe my own work.
You mean I can't just list a table as wood table on Etsy anymore?
If you do that, you're basically whispering into a hurricane. Nobody's hearing you. SEO has moved away from those blunt keywords. It's about descriptive storytelling.
Give me an example. What's the Tiger formula for a listing?
Instead of walnut bowl, you're looking at hand-turned black walnut fruit bowl, harvested from fallen Pennsylvania timber, food-safe finish. You aren't just telling them what it is. You're telling them why they can trust it and what they're going to do with it the moment it arrives.
It's the difference between a grocery list and a recipe.
Precisely. And digital products are starting to hitch a ride on physical ones. People aren't just buying the ceramic bowl, they're buying a PDF guide on how to care for artisanal stoneware. It's about building an ecosystem around the object you made.
So when are you releasing the Tiger Guide to not accidentally gluing your hands together?
I'm still in the research phase for that one, usually involving a lot of acetone and some very awkward phone calls to my wife.
Okay, let's talk about the Walnut Wonder because I saw the video you were watching. $5,000 for a single slab and then the epoxy.
My heart was in my throat for that guy. You're looking at a piece of wood that took 80 years to grow, and you're about to pour 200 pounds of liquid plastic into the middle of it.
It's the ultimate maker gamble. If that mold leaks through a pinhole you missed in the bottom corner,
Then you've just spent $5,000 on the world's most expensive puddle. I've been there, not on a $5,000 scale, thank God, but standing there watching blue resin slowly creep across your shop floor while you desperately try to plug a hole with duct tape. It's a special kind of panic.
what's the secret truth then? Beyond check for leaks?
It's the ritual of the sander. Everyone wants to talk about the pour, but the quality of a walnut piece is decided between the 180 and 220 grit papers. Most people think it's smooth enough and jump to the oil. But if you haven't truly cleared those microscopic scratches from the 180, the finish is going to look muddy. You have to be patient enough to let the wood tell you when it's ready.
It's about respect for the material.
It really is. Whether you're building a walnut table or following MFJJ's lead and building your own custom bow shop, it's about creating a space that actually mirrors how you move.
That's been the theme of the day, hasn't it? Precision, whether it's a fiber laser or a piece of sandpaper.
You nailed it. We often think precision means being robotic, but in the shop, it's really just about removing the maybe. Maybe this mold won't leak. Maybe this keyword will work. Moving from maybe to definitely is how you go from an amateur to a pro.
So, what's the one thing you want the den to walk away with today?
I think it's this. Don't be afraid to step back and look at your setup. If you're doing the same task 5 times a day, look for your version of that V2 on 10 laser. How can you consolidate? How can you make the flow smoother? Your time is the only tool in the shop you can't sharpen or replace once it's gone.
Well said. I'm going to go see if I can consolidate my coffee intake into one giant bucket.
That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. See you tomorrow, Alex.
See you tomorrow, Tiger.